honored and privileged to serve this community. I'm 91 days old in the role, and I'm still living the dream first and foremost. Today, we're here for a town hall meeting in relationship to the senior home repair. We embarked on this journey June 1st. There have been some highs and lows, ebbs and flows, but today, we're going to bring about clarity, consistency, and uniformity as to addressing those issues, understanding the process, and understanding the program in its entirety. And I have a few members of the team that's going to assist me with this. For one, we have our consultant from iParamedics, Ms. Kendi Shannon. She's going to provide an overview of this program. We also have Ms. Lauren Berger from Newton County Family Connection Center, who have been dealing with most of you all in terms of the application process. This form is for you all. This form is not for equity, because we're trying to bring about solutions. I want helpers, not helpers. I want people who are going to quell the situation instead of gaslighting the situation. I want people who are not going to use our most treasured citizens in this community, this colony, to manipulate circumstances for their own gain. I don't want those people involved in this process. But now, if the people you come in contact with are genuine, and they're genuinely trying to help you, I'm all for it. Let's roll up our sleeves together, and let's work toward providing solutions. So that's why we're here today. So, I'm going to start this out with an overview of the senior home repair program. I'm then going to yield to Ms. Shannon to speak about the application process and some of the issues associated with the application process. So, there have been 6 frequently asked questions by the seniors and anybody affiliated with the program. What repairs are eligible for the grant? Can I still apply? Will everyone who fills out an application receive the $30,000 allotment? How long will it take to hear if my application is approved? Why are pictures now required when they work condition? Why has this process been so difficult? These are the questions that we hope to answer today. These are the concerns that we would like to hear from you all in reference to the challenges that you've been experiencing with those 6 areas. Eligible versus ineligible. I call it the 10 versus 9. There are 10 eligible repairs versus 9 ineligible repairs in terms of approval. Number 1, you can get your roofs and your gutters repaired. You can get your electrical systems repaired. You can have your plumbing systems repaired. Septic systems, exterior siding, HVAC systems, insulation, window and door replacement, bathroom modifications and ramps necessary for the homeowner with a physical disability to safely access and use the home for basic life functions. Additionally, any repairs for the homeowner with a physical disability to safely access and use the home for basic life functions. This program is intended to assist those seniors who desperately need these repairs in relationship to a health and safety concern. That's paramount. Let's look at the ineligible repairs. The purchase or repair of appliances not permanently attached to the home, including refrigerators, stoves, dishwashers, washers, and dryers. Offsite infrastructure, sheds, barns, fences, bridges, patios. driveway repairs, unless a trip hazard is present and in need of repair. Relocation expenses of the homeowner, tools and work-related appliances, cosmetic improvements, interior paint, exterior paint, updating the floors, elective home repair, upgrades and renovations. We can't just say, you know what, I want to upgrade this room, you know, and put some new paint on these walls, just because. Repairs to any detached structures, as we stated earlier, or outdoors. Landscaping, lawn sprinklers, walkways, or fences. Those are the ineligible repairs. And when we talk about repairs, those would be the repairs that you would be denied, you know, if you put in a request. Again, the purpose of this program is to help you all, our most treasured resource in the community, in relationship to your health and your wellness. Can I still apply? The deadline to apply as a new applicant was July 31st. I know that there was an issue on July 31st. There was a report that seniors felt that they were being turned away. Laura will be able to speak to that incident. And again, as I extended my apologies to you all on August 1st, I'm extending my apologies. I'm never going to run away from a problem in this role as county manager. I'm going to run to it because we're going to bring about positive solutions. Now, if your application was started and not completed prior to July 31st, your application is still eligible for review. And in fact, the applicant has until August 31st to complete the application in its entirety. So when you look at this, we started this program June 1st. So essentially, let's say you completed or started your application June 1st. Essentially had 91, 92 days to complete. Why has this process been so difficult? I think I spoke to some of you when you came in this morning. And what was really refreshing to know, many of you started out your conversation with me saying, I know this is a new program. I understand this is new. You are absolutely correct. But we're not giving any excuses, right? Setbacks every now and then, failure then. I've eradicated that from our vocabulary. We're going to see the finish line. I'm going to help as many seniors as we can help with this program. Because a key component to this is the resources associated. That dictates the number of seniors we can help. And resources, money. So, it's unique. But why are there so many guidelines that we have to follow in reference to ensuring our application is processed? Because we're dealing with federal funding. And in layman's terms, we have to dot our I's and cross our T's. And I always share with the legislators, and I used to share this in Henry County, my job is to keep our board of commissioners satisfied. Meaning, eliminating as much scrutiny as possible that they'll receive that could be avoided and could be avoided by an operations standpoint. So we must make sure our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed because this is federal funding. There have been some glitches, and again, working in collaboration with Newton County Family Connection and our parametrics, we're going to right the ship. Okay? Now, righting the ship Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be able to service every senior in this community. But we're going to try to service as many seniors as we can in this community. So, when everyone fills out the application, what really is the criteria? And Ms. Shannon will be able to expound on this when I pass the baton to her in reference to the specifics. But here's a general overview of how this funding is prioritized. And remember, I talked about limited resources earlier. Currently, we have 1,313 applications. Okay, I think we had over 600 complete. And I think we've had close to, keep me honest, in terms, maybe 35 to 40 overall approvals right now.
It's $39 million worth of applications.
$39 million worth of applications in the system. So when you do the math, we could not service $39 million of applications. If every applicant receives $30,000 worth of repairs, we can service 166 citizens. That's the reality. Okay? So that's why it's important that we have this forum today and that you all get an opportunity to speak very candidly and express to us your concerns about it. Because we want the messaging to be clear. You know, again, remember I talked about it before. I want individuals to help quell their frustrations, not gaslight. I want individuals who want to propose solutions, opposed to imposing their will for personal gain. Ultimately, I want you all to serve, and I want the truth to be done. So, let's look at the annual income. We have a senior who lives in a home by themselves, and they make $33,000 a year. That's roughly, what, $2,800 a month, $700 a week. From a priority standpoint, that person has repairs that are needed based on their health and well-being, and their applications put in, and it's complete. We're going to do our due diligence and try our very best to provide them the services they need. Let's look at a senior who has a household of 8 people, and the income is only $63,000 for 8 people. That's only really $5,300 a month for 8 people. I'm not including taxes. But if they're living in their last day at home, we got to do whatever we can to help. So, people are not just getting rejected arbitrarily. You know, there is a system in place. And again, my shoulders are wide enough. I can take it. If we haven't articulated and made it clear, my apologies. Blame it on my head and not my heart, because you all know my heart. Why are preachers now required when they weren't initially? Well, for starters, the legislative vote on our board of commissioners, July 10th. Second, remember what I said earlier. We're dealing with the federal government. We want to make sure we're blood enough and we're pristine in our approach, right? We want to make sure our eyes are dotted and our T's are crossed. That's very, very important. And that's why the pictures are needed. But guess what? July 31st, myself and Attorney Shannon had a team meeting with roughly, 23 of the contractors? And we put the onus on them now to take it before and after pictures. Because again, it's not fair to the money, especially if you all have health insurance, right? So we want to make this as comfortable as possible for you, even though it's been unknown in large part. How long will it take to get my application was approved? Again, I won't steal Ms. Shannon's thunder, she's gonna be able to expound on that. But with the massive number of applications we received, before her and her team, 30 days. If you haven't heard from them in 30 days, then that is a problem. Let me know, I'll let her know. So, again, this is you all's forum. You're going to have an opportunity to share your concerns and grievances, but I'm going to yield this time to Ms. Shannon so that she can speak specifically about some of the hot-button topics and some of the issues that her and her caseworkers have been hearing from you all directly. Ms. Shannon.
Thank you. So my name is Trinity Shannon. I'm with iParametrics. We're the consultant that helps Newton County with their ARPA allocation. So let me just do another hierarchy overview of ARPA. The funding for ARPA is meant to be responsive to the COVID pandemic. That's what this money is for. We made the argument that there were a lot of seniors during COVID who had to use their money for other things. Medication, right? They had to pay utility bills. And as a result, a lot of the home repairs necessary for health and safety, that was kind of on the back burner. That wasn't really a priority, right? So we made an argument to the federal government, let us use this money to help seniors who are low income make repairs for things that are health and safety to their home, okay? So that health and safety aspect, that is the tie to COVID. Without that health and safety, we could not use these dollars for this program. Now, as you all know, there's $5 million in this program right now, but as you heard, there are $39 million worth of applications. That being said, the prioritization is going to be on those low-income individual households, okay? Those seniors that are below 50%. A lot of our applications are above that. So there is a very strong possibility, just doing the math in your head, that you may apply and you may not be funded because there is just not enough money to fund everyone. So part of what we do at iParametrics is we have to look at each application. We have to identify if this person is below 50% AMI or above. If you're above, your application isn't even reviewed. I'm gonna be honest with you because we have to focus on the low income ones first, okay? Now you still keep the preference of when you apply, but the system automatically puts you to the back of the line and it moves the 50% AMI applicants to the front of the line. And we have to review those first. So when I say 30 days, it's 30 days even for the 50% AMI ones. But if you know you're above 50%, it may be 60 days before we get to you. And that's assuming there is any money left over. I just want to be completely honest with all of you. Now I know some of the phone calls have not been pleasant with my team, and it's hard to be pleasant when you're telling people they can't get something that they want. We've had quite a few applications come through the system where we've had to deny repairs based on the lack of documentation of health and safety. So I want you to think of our process as very similar to either a FEMA claim, if you've ever made a FEMA claim, or an insurance claim, right? If you got homeowner's insurance and you have a loss, the insurance company wants to see pictures to show what was messed up. They want estimates to show how much is going to be repaired. And you can ask them to fix whatever you want, but if that's not on your policy, they're not going to fix it. So I just want you all to know that's what goes into the calculation when we look at these applications. If I had the money, I would give it all to you. It's not my money, it's not iParametrics money, but it is our job as consultants, like our county manager Hale said, to keep the county sanitized. Because what happens is, if we spend this money improperly, and we're audited by the feds, which we're going to be audited because we got quite a bit of money, 21 million overall, and we didn't spend that money according to what the federal regulation, the guidelines said, they're going to take that money out of the general fund of Newton County, which takes resources and services away from you, because you're going to have to pay the government back. That's my #1 job, is to make sure you don't have to pay any money back. So when I go to these meetings and I make these recommendations about adding things or taking things away, and you may not want to do that, it's for the greater good of Newton County to make sure that there is no instance where you look on the news and you see Newton County has to send $5 million back to the government, because nobody wants to send money back. So that being said, what I want to do today is I want to show you some examples of what we will approve and some examples of what we won't approve. Because a lot of the holdup of some of these applications have been, there's tons of stuff on there we just can't approve. And so we're literally going line by line and piecemealing each application to find things that we can approve and then disallow the things that we can't. And then the seniors are saying, well, can I go get another estimate, which holds up and bottlenecks. We have so many applications in the system, we literally have to process them based on what's in the four corners of that application and keep it moving, because otherwise this program will still be being processed this time next year. Because there are just so many applications, okay? So, the county manager already kind of discussed the deadlines. And the reason we had these deadlines is because, like I said, even right now, there are too many applications in the system to fund with the $5 million we have. We're going to fund about 15% of the applications in the system. That's what it's probably going to work out to, between 15 or 20%. And the other reason we're very strict on the repairs is because that's going to make that money stretch. If we gave everybody just $30,000 based on what they asked, it's 166 seniors that gets assisted. That's it. That's not the bang for the buck that we want for this funding. We want to really help those things that really have health and safety repairs. And I'm going to show you some pictures and examples of what we mean by that. The eligibility requirements, right? At least 55 years of age. Own your own home at least a year. Must be located in Newton County. Must be your primary resident. We've had applicants that are applying for rental properties, vacation homes. No, you must live there and it must be your primary residence, okay? You must be at least 80% of the AMI, but of course preference is going to be for those that are 50% and lower. You must have a repair that affects the health and safety of the senior, and you must have two estimates. Let me explain why you have to have two estimates. The federal government wants you to have two estimates because that's how you determine if the cost is reasonable. If you get one estimate, that estimate may be price gouging. So they need something to compare it to. And these estimates need to be from two separate companies that are not related. I've literally disapproved at least 4 or 5 applications because we found out the contractors are related. One's the daddy and one's the brother. And you got 2 separate names on there, but you're related. So I can't use those. That I don't look good in orange. And I'm not wearing orange, but nobody, unless I did it. So that being said, I don't want to go to it. So be careful with these contractors that you use. We've had situations where seniors have made up estimates themselves and have not done a very good job at it because we caught them doing it. What that does is that then makes your application ineligible across the board, and then any contractors associated with that did participate in that willingly, they won't be able to be funded through the program at all. So it's just not working. Okay? This is the income chart. So County Manager Harold went through this. This is the priority. These are the individuals that have to make decisions between medication, rent, utilities. They don't have time. They got that bucket in the living room that's been there 2 years catching the water that's coming in the roof. Because they don't have the money to fix it. These are the priority for us. These are the members of the community that we want to assist the most because they just don't have the means to do it, okay? Obviously, we went through the eligible repair categories. These are for a reason. These are the most delicate structures in your home. We want these homes to be around for the next 20 years for these seniors so that they ultimately can pass that housing stock down to their family. Roofs don't last forever. HVAC systems don't last forever. We do have a number of seniors that have no air conditioning. I live in Michigan. It don't get as hot in Michigan as it does here. I could not imagine being a senior and having medical conditions and not having any air. So if you're a low-income senior and you don't have any air, we want to make sure you have air. Because in this type of climate, you almost have to have it, okay? Septic systems. If you have backup of septic systems, sewer issues, roofing issues, siding issues. Now, you can see a few pictures in here. I'm not talking about a little hole in your siding like this and now you want to get the whole house inside it. that's gonna be denied. But then we have arguments on the phone, well, it's my money, I can do what I wanna do with it, you telling me what to do with my money? No, ma'am, it's not. It's the federal government's money, we wanna give it to you, but we can only give it to you if you check these boxes, okay? Ineligible categories, again, these are for a reason. We wanna address the interior of your house, where you do most of your living. You may not have go to a shed. There's people out there literally doing this every morning to get over the floorboard because it's up in the middle of the floor, and you asking us to fix a shed that you go to a few times a year. That's not the priority of this program. We want to make sure that we're addressing the issues that we really want to address in the community. Verification of repairs needed. Photos are necessary. FEMA needs photos, your insurance company needs photos. Why would we be any different? I would love to take everybody's word for it, but I can't, because it's not my money. So I need a picture. You need to show me how it poses a health and safety risk to you. Show me a picture, I'm fine with that. That's my documentation, because I have to be able to go to a federal auditor when they come in and they're trying to find a way to get us. I have to be able to say Ms. Johnson's repair met the category because here's a picture, this posed a risk to Ms. Johnson, and we made the repair. And the auditor will go about their business. But without that information, I'm going off of your word. There may not have even been a need for repair. I have no way of knowing that because I'm not physically there, nor is my staff. So that's why pictures are necessary, okay? So these are going to be some examples of some health and safety before pictures that we've seen, and some of these are examples I just put in here, okay? This is a health and safety concern, okay? This is a cosmetic paint. This person needs new flooring. They've got newspaper up against the wall to keep the elements from coming in. Leak in the ceiling where there's mold. This is a health and safety concern. You cannot breathe in mold, right? This person has gone so long that mold is starting to grow. They took the light fixture down, but they have no other options, okay? This is a window that needs to be repaired. This is an example of a window that we would do new windows for, okay? Your siding and your gutters. If your gutters is hanging like that, that means there's water not going in your gutters, and it's going down the side of your home. And it may get into your basement if you have a basement, but it may start to wash away your foundation. So we will fix those type of gutters, okay? Windows, right? If your windows are bending in, if you got older windows, then that's something we'll look at. Now, we will allow windows for energy efficiency for this program. Now, it has to be energy efficient. I've gotten requests from people who have brand new windows. These windows look 2 years at the most. And they want all 17 new windows again. Come on. You know, and they're like, well, condensation's getting in. Well, when I have my air conditioner on, condensation's on my window too. So it's just, we have to be reasonable, right? We have to make sure these resources get stretched as much as we possibly can. Flooring. This is a trip hazard. That uneven tile, that peeling tile down there that's missing, that's a trip hazard. We don't want nobody falling on that. Air conditioning, right? If your system is old and antiquated, not working, not getting cold. Now there's a difference between needing a new unit and having it recharged. Some of y'all just need Freon, okay? And some of you need a new unit. So that's why we want you to get two estimates to say, is this a $400 repair with just more Freon and you can be nice and cool for the next 2 years? Or is this a $7,000 repair to buy a whole new system? We don't know that. I'm not an expert, so I have to depend upon the contractors to make that clear. Peeling paint and oil coming in. That's a health and safety concern, okay? Especially near an electrical source. Porches. Now, porches are very tricky. Now, if you got a porch like this, we'll fix that. You can't lean on that banister. It's ready to go at any moment. But it needs to be a porch you use every day. Now, if there's a back deck that you just would love to go and enjoy, you may have to find another source of funding for that, okay? Rotted wood on your porch, right? That's something we will fix. Termite damage, that's something we will fix. If this is the porch you gotta open up every single day to get in your front door, that's a health and safety concern, okay? Plumbing, if you had to make fixes like this with tape, and you know, this has probably got 3, 6, 7 layers of tape on there because they keep trying to fix it. Because they just don't have the means to fix it the correct way. Your roof looks like this on the corner, we will fix it. You've got leaks coming in and you can show it in your attic. That's how mold gets in your attic. Clearly, there's an issue with this roof and we will fix it. Plumbing. If you got copper pipes that are coming apart, you got a leak there to the point where you got to turn, you can't even use the bathroom because there's a leak, and that's a concern. Let's talk about bathrooms. Some of y'all got 3 and 4 bathrooms and want all 3 and 4 bathrooms completely redone. We cannot, what is wrong with your bathroom? Do you need a toilet? Do you need a sink? You know, are you able to use the facilities? But just general cosmetic repairs, we cannot do. Again, the porch picture, molds coming in. Obviously, they've got a roofing issue. Window, they tried to fix this, right? They caulked it and tried to fix it because they have no other option. These are the type of windows we want to replace. Now, if you got windows within the last 5 years, chances are they're pretty energy efficient. They may be 5 years old, but they better than this. You got a broken window, we'll fix that. Now, I'm not going to buy all 15 new windows. I'm going to fix that one window. So what we're hearing is, well, if you fix this window, it's going to look different than the other 15 windows. So I need all 15 windows so they can match. Absolutely not. You cannot do that. Again, more water coming in from the roof. Flooring hazard. If your flooring is starting to do that, that's a trip hazard. You had some water damage and your flooring is buckling, we want to fix that. Now, what does that fix look like? It may be as simple as fixing that one board. It may be as simple as fixing all the floors. We will then leave that up to the experts to determine what's necessary to fix that, okay? Again, more mold coming in from water, moisture coming in from outside. Mold. Flooring like this. You got those old asbestos tiles, or you got tiles that are missing, we will cover this. We want to get that asbestos out of the house. One, because don't nobody want to be so Leon. Okay? And 2, this proposes a trip hazard, and we don't want nobody tripping on this, okay? Carpet. So if you have issues where your carpet is bunching up, this can be fixed in a number of ways. We talk to the contractors. They can either restretch it, if it's worth restretching, but if it's an old carpet, it may tear, it may deteriorate. In that regard, we will replace the carpet, okay? Now, let me share with you this. We are like the insurance company. We're going to replace with whatever you had before. If you had a perfectly good door that was $400 when you bought it, don't submit an invoice for a $7,000 door with ornate glass and stained glass that belong at the church. Don't submit that because it's going to be denied. And ultimately, your application, you're going to get 1 or 2 things funded, we're going to move on to the next application. So you're doing yourself a disservice by adding things to this application that we just can't fund. Again, another example of a window seal, another example of a porch where you've got damage to wood, termite damage, roofing issues, another porch and steps. This is a hazard, right? This is what we want to fix. So, that being said, I'm going to share some photos, and none of these have names on them. Some of these were actually submitted with applications, and I want you to see what we see and what we have to deny. And you'd be shocked when we get on the phone from seniors and we have to deny them. There are not a lot of good words that come out of some of these seniors' mouths. But again, we are here to serve. But again, so this is a door that somebody's here to pick up. This is a perfectly good door. What you need a new door for? This window. They wanted new windows. I don't see nothing wrong with this window. This was submitted as an issue. What is the issue? This is a brand new house that was submitted. I don't see any saggy gutters or anything. I don't see what the issue is. Now this is a floor. It's an older floor, but it's intact. There's no tiles missing. Now, would you like a new floor? Absolutely. Would I like a new floor? Absolutely. But this funding is not for that. Cracked bathroom floor, toilet doesn't work well, vanity has taken water damage because faucet's been broken, it's unsound. I don't see none of that in that photo. You need a new faucet, we'll get you a new faucet. But we can't update the bathroom just because it may be older. It's got to be a health and safety concern. This is a picture of a banister. I don't know what they were asking for in that regard, but we need to fix the rail, we'll fix the rail. But these are some examples of the pictures we get. Now this, you see that little hole, how does that affect anybody's health and safety in that house? It does not. They wanted all new, what are those things called? Shutters. Like, no, this is not what this program is about. Holes, little holes. Now, if you've got holes where there's water coming in, fine. But these little holes aren't provided, they're not posing any health and safety concern. And when you look at these pictures compared to the first set I showed you, you see the importance of why we are so picky in what projects we're choosing to fund and which ones we're not. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't no sagging gutter or anything. Nothing wrong with that window. We don't do fences with that. I mean, it's an old fence, but it's still intact. Ain't no pieces missing, you know? So that being said, those are examples of what we're seeing, right? So we play the bad guys, and I started me and my team, because seniors are calling, they want all this stuff, right? They've heard through the grapevine that it's state $30,000, they can do what they want to do. And we've heard it on the phone. How you gonna tell me what to do with my money? You know, Commissioner Blank said I can do what I want to do with my money, and you telling me I can't. You know, who are you to come in our community and tell us what we can do with our money? That's not my job. I just want to keep people from wearing orange and from having to turn money back to the federal government.